Have you ever thought that you would just take a vacation with maybe your friends or family? Have you ever thought that that vacation was going to be so great, but then you got to the vacation and you realized suddenly it's not so great? All those ideas that you have swirling up in your brain, sitting there thinking, geez, I think this would be really fun. And you find out maybe it's not quite as fun as you wanted. I'm here to talk about my sister's trip. I have a couple of sisters, and we thought it would be fun to just take a vacation together. We all lived in different areas, and we thought we'll meet up somewhere. We chose a place, and it was a great place. It was California. So, as you all know, California is super beautiful, especially during certain times of the year. We weren't went during baseball season, so we all meet up. Everything is great. I hadn't seen my sisters for a little bit and we're having a great time. As time proceeds, we go to a baseball game, which was awesome. One of the days, actually, I believe this was after it was after the ball game. So we go to a baseball game and we're leaving. It's very interesting. You can walk down a street and there's several different like bars and restaurants and just all kinds of different places. Anyway, one of my sisters and I was walking and we turn around and our other sister is missing. So we thought, wow, that's really strange. Now, the panic that kind of sits in when you have somebody go missing. I don't know if you've ever felt that before, if you've had a child or somebody go missing, whether it be in a grocery store, uh, the mall. But it gives you a little bit of that feeling like, huh, I wonder what happened. Of course, we both had that feeling. So we look around, we don't see anything. But all three of us knew where our next destination was. So what did we do? We kept walking, kept looking back every once in a while, just quick look. So we get to our destination, which happens to be this kind of fancy white tablecloth restaurant that somebody had told us about that had super good food, but better yet, amazing desserts. So my sister and I get in the parking lot and we're waiting and just no phone calls, no nothing, completely nothing. I'd say probably 20 minutes later, and we're starting to get worried by this point too, because it's been a good hour and a half by this time. So what happens? My sister pulls up in a limo. No shit. A limo. Now, the first thought is when somebody pulls up in a limo is what the hell are they doing? Maybe they're a celebrity. I don't know. She gets out and she's like, hey. And my other sister and I are standing there thinking, what is she doing? She's with a couple of people. But what is she doing? So I proceed to ask her, hey, where were you? She said, oh, I had to use the restroom. So I ducked into this bar and I met these people and I started talking to these people. By this time, I've already checked out of the conversation. She lost me at, I ducked into this bar. Now, when you're going somewhere all together, that's the best way to get lost. Why didn't she just say something? Hey, I'm going to duck in here. Why didn't she say she had to use the restroom? Didn't say any of that stuff. Huh. So she proceeds to tell me that she met these nice people. And she's trying to tell me the story, which I still don't know to this day, about these really amazing, nice people that she met at a bar. While my other sister and I were completely worried that maybe she had been abducted or something had happened to her. This is what she was doing. She shows up in the limo. Maybe you have a sister like that or somebody else in your family, mother, father, child. Anyway, the limo driver gets out super annoyed at this point anyway. Limo driver gets out and says, hey, you owe me $75. And she turns around and she says, "Oh, yeah, my sister will pay you." What? What do you mean? What do you mean my sister will pay you? What does that mean? That I have to fork over the cash for something that I didn't even want? Something that I didn't even know about? Didn't make any sense to me, of course. So, of course, she says, "Well, I don't have any money." Interesting. Now, that's interesting. So, you get in a limo without money. That's a whole nother podcast here. But you get in the limo without money, you get to your destination, which let me just tell you this. The destination of this restaurant was approximately 1 to 2 blocks, maybe 1.5 blocks. That's it. Not far. $75. Right. Highway robbery, I say. However, so she's excited. She's like, "Oh, just pay the guy and then we can go in here and we can get something to eat." So we did exactly that. We paid the guy, limo driver left, everything's great. We go inside and I am so annoyed. And so is my younger sister. Because we really just read her the riot act. Like, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? Ducking into a bar, not telling us what you're doing, having to use the bathroom, which is fine, but telling us would have been ideal, not just go missing. She said, "Well, you were walking so far ahead of me. How could I tell you?" Really? Really? That's your excuse. Because we're walking so far ahead, you couldn't yell. You couldn't alert us in some manner. So you just walk in there. It's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. However, after a little bit of back and forth kind of bickering, it was time for us to go into our white tablecloth dinner. Obviously, we weren't in the mood for eating dinner at this point, but we were here. So we walk inside. They proceed to seat us at our table. My sister starts talking and she starts stating her case as if she did nothing wrong. But it's 2 against 1 here because we're thinking you don't leave, you didn't say anything, you show up in a limo, strike three, you're out, right? Right. So she says, "Oh, blah, blah, blah." Well, my younger sister, she was getting so angry while she was sitting at the table. We were already angry outside, but now she's getting really angry because she's not saying sorry. My sister is not saying, "I'm sorry that I did this. Thank you for paying for my limo ride." Nothing, absolutely nothing. And so my sister is getting pissed. But remember, setting the scene here, we're in a restaurant, a high end restaurant that's really nice. So I look at everyone and I say, "I got an idea. Let's play the no talking game." Now, here's what's so great about the no talking game is that nobody talks. That's the best part. Yes, that is the no talking game. So my younger sister and me, we proceeded to kind of laugh and we text each other on our cell phones back and forth. And my older sister, she didn't talk. Nobody talked. Needless to say, we enjoyed this amazing meal and this incredible cherry rum bread pudding or something like that. It was so good, so good. And for those of you that know me, I love desserts, but usually they're chocolate. And this one actually was awesome. Anyway, so as it got over, meal gets over, we have dessert, we leave. Everything seems to be good because we didn't have any talking about it. This was years ago that my sister did this to us. Has there been another sister trip? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But when I think back at it, it's like a lot of things. It wasn't probably as bad as what I thought. That's what I think now. At the time, it's terrible. It's beyond terrible. But now that I think about it, I really like the times that I get to spend with my sisters. We did a lot of really fun things and we acted like tourists. It was a great time. If it takes paying for a limo ride and a little bit of anger, I mean, that's kind of like the holidays. The holidays are filled with people that have anger problems or issues and push all your buttons. We just happen to be on the sister trip, which is great. Looking back, I really learned a lot. I learned a lot by my sightseeing. I learned a lot by just hanging out with them. And I'll tell you, I truly, truly, truly had a blast. So if ever you get a chance to hang out with your family, maybe they're not perfect. Maybe they make some crazy decisions. I don't know. But maybe just take them up on it. It's those little times that you get together. They're the most memorable. And even if at the time there's a lot of anger, it's still pretty fun when you look back at it and you can just laugh about it like I'm doing. Oh, wow. I'm Shelbi Fox. Remember to like and subscribe to this if you want to hear more stories. I really appreciate you guys. And just remember, where you are is where it's at.